Hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the MOJ podcast. I am your host, Monica O. Jackson. And if you are new to my channel, thank you guys so much for joining me. And just in case you didn't know, I am an Emmy Award-winning news anchor with over 30 years in the business. I'm also an inductee into the Nevada Broadcasters Hall of Fame, and I am an Ally Award winner with the HRC, also known as the Human Rights Campaign. So I come with some credentials, so I am qualified to be here. And for those of you who've been following me for years, thank you guys so much. Social media, all that stuff. It's so nice to see you all still hanging in there and hanging tight with me. Now, some housekeeping things to get to you guys, just in case you want to stay in touch with me, and I hope that you do. I want you guys to check out all of my platforms, all my social media. So check out my podcast on YouTube, and while you are there, please make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to comment, tell all your friends about it, share the links and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Oh, and we're going to be doing Meet the Author giveaways. So make sure you check out my podcast, because that's, when you're giving away stuff, you want everybody to know it. My podcast can be found on all other, all the platforms out there, all the podcast sites like Spotify, Amazon. Just go to your favorite platform and type in MOJ Podcast. It'll pop up for you. Now, if you want to reach out to me via email, you can do so. mojshow@mojproductions.com. That's mojshow@mojproductions.com. Social media platforms on Facebook and on TikTok. I am MOJ Show. Once again, on Facebook and TikTok, I'm MOJ Show. And on Instagram, I have two accounts. The first is MOJ Show and the number 1. And the second account on Instagram is the MOJ Show. Once again, on Instagram, two accounts, MOJ Show and the number 1. And the second account is the MOJ Show. So there we have it. You got all kinds of ways to stick and stay. Don't go away. Hang out with me and keep up with everything that I am doing. And I hope you guys have had a chance to check out my current podcast right here in the library on my podcast channel. We've posted a number of them, a lot of information there, some fun stuff we talked about, and we'll continue to talk about. We stay in touch with pop culture and all kinds of culture here on the MOJ podcast. All right, folks, let's get you started. National days, national months, national weeks. It's one of my favorite things. So we incorporated that into my podcast. And this month, we are recognizing National Men's Health Month. Now, this is near and dear to my heart. One, I am married. I've been married for a very long time, and my husband's health is a priority and has become even more of a priority to me as our culture is changing, as our healthcare system is changing, and I have a son who is a young adult. So men's health is really important to me. And I want to make sure to talk about this and make it normal. Because men don't talk about it enough. And as women, as wives, as mothers, as sisters, as nieces and friends, we need to talk about it. Did you know that when it comes to men's health, and particularly when it comes to early detection for prostate cancer, colon cancer, heart disease, all those things, men have a really, really bad average. And I want to pop this up because I want you to see what I'm talking about. On average, men live about 5 years less than women. Okay. 1 in 2 men, right? Men have a higher death rate for most leading causes of death, including cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and suicide, unfortunately. And approximately 30,000 men in the U.S. die each year from prostate cancer. And unfortunately, my stepdad was one of them. He caught it, but it got out of control, and he passed away several years ago. So it's a big deal to me, and I want to make sure that the men who are listening to this podcast, and I hope that you are sharing it with them, they know this, and they are getting their monthly and or yearly checkups, whatever the case may be for the men. So make sure that this month, you're focusing on the importance of those regular checkups for men. You are encouraging good health habits for the men in your life. Men are encouraged to adopt healthy lifestyle choices, including a balanced diet, regular exercise, guys. Please do that. Stress management, and of course, avoid smoking. And make sure that you are addressing the stigmas, in particular for Black men. The reason that they die at a higher rate than any other group is because of pride. Men have to go get checked. If they only knew how women have to get checked for that yearly, GYN check. Oh my God. They'd be like, okay, bring it on. I can do this because if women can do that, I can do this. Believe me, our checkups yearly are much, much worse than you guys. So, hey, make sure to check on the loved one in your life and get that done. Okay. All right. That's our national month. So make sure to take care of your man. We're still at the early stages of this month. So you still have time. It's National Men's Health Awareness Month. All right. Moving on here, folks. It is time to call it like I see it. And this is such a cool story. I saw this and I told my husband, I was like, oh my God, we have got to talk about this because, when it comes to good deeds, the MOJ podcast is all about doing well by doing good. That is our motto. And when we see other people doing that, putting action to words, it makes all the difference in the world. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest celebrities on the planet did just that. And his name is King James. Yep, LeBron James. So somehow or another, LeBron had this coach, right, in high school. His name was Coach Daniels. And Coach Daniels did everything. There's always that one coach who takes care of the kids. He looks out for them. He makes sure that they get, if they're poor kids, get something to eat, get something to drink, make sure they get home on time. If they don't have a ride, he just makes them feel safe. Well, Coach Daniels did that for LeBron in his early days in high school. He knew that LeBron was going to be a superstar, and he took care of this young man as he did other young men on his team. He was just a wonderful coach, a wonderful guide. And there was one point where LeBron didn't even have sneakers. His mother couldn't afford sneakers for basketball. Coach Daniels bought him a pair of sneakers. Well, flash forward some time ago, it's been a short time ago, LeBron found out Coach Daniels fell on hard times and he became homeless, was taking showers at a local gym, a public gym, and was living out of his pickup truck. So when he found this out, ladies and gentlemen, LeBron didn't call the media. He didn't make a big deal about it. He didn't put a post out. He simply made a call and disappeared for a few days. Here's what he was doing. The next time anybody saw Coach Daniels, he was walking into a fully renovated condo. It was furnished, had groceries. The heat was on, and there was a framed photo of the team from 1998 signed by LeBron James with a note. And here's what the note read. You gave me stability when I had none. Now it's my turn. Isn't that cool? There's Coach Daniels right there. LeBron and his family making sure that he's taken care of. Coach Daniels, of course, he wept. Not because of the gift, but because someone remembered him when the world had forgotten him. Isn't that something? Oh my gosh. Now, I'll admit, I've never really been into sports, but when I see these sports figures taking their celebrity status, their money, and making a difference, that's when I become a fan. A lot of celebrities, I've interviewed so many in my life. Some I've even forgotten that I've interviewed, and it's not until I see them on TV that I remember that I interviewed them. That's what makes me a fan. It's not necessarily what they do for a living or what made them popular. It's the good that they put in the world. And I love that. So good for you, LeBron James. All right. And this is and the second, call it like I see it. With that LeBron James story, LeBron, I'm calling it like I see it. You the man. I love it. This one right here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. It's funny, but not funny, but funny. Lord have mercy. And of course, it happened in Florida. It's called Jensen Beach, Florida. So a family got an unexpected visitor in their pool, their private pool in their backyard, folks. It happened on May 31st. So not too long ago, right? They came home and there is a fence surrounding their pool, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know this joker got beyond the fence and jumped in their pool for a swim? So they had to call, of course, the local authorities, and they came and got that bad boy. Now I know what you're thinking, like, Monica, how the heck does this happen? Now in Florida, this is not abnormal, happens all the time. You hear this on the news about Florida all the time. But ladies and gentlemen, if you think that a gator can't climb a fence, Let me show you that they can. I have never in my life seen this. Feast your eyes on this bad boy. Watch him. I had no freaking idea. What is the purpose of putting a fence up if you live in Florida and they can do this? Look at how methodical this bad boy is. Climbing over this is right. It's like something out of a horror movie. Boom. Now, as a mom, my first thought is, what if I had come home and my 5-year-old or 6-year-old that I taught how to swim, I said, baby, just go jump in the pool. You're good. And that had been in there. Like, my mind always goes there. I couldn't believe that. I did not know that gators could climb the fence, right? That's crazy. I just call it like I see it. Yeah, the authorities came and got him. He wasn't put down. He was good. But man, that's something else, ain't it? I know. Crazy. All right, folks. Hey, it's time to get to our What's Crack-a-lackin'. And baby, is it crack-a-lackin'. Let me tell you something. This woman is like the Energizer Bunny. She just keeps going and going and going and going. Janet Jackson, baby. Yep. She done extended one more again. As my grandfather used to say, she has extended her residency at Resorts World. I guarantee you, when this happens, that means the resort, the hotel casino is treating them like royalty. And of course, she is royalty. Just recently, Janet was awarded the Icon Award at the American Music Awards. And now Resorts World, they've decided, yep, we want you to stay too. We want to keep you because we think you're an icon. So you can go to their website. She has extended her shows. This will be a nice pre-holiday gift for your family. September 10th, 13th, 14th, 17th, 19th, and 20th. So you have plenty of time to book your tickets and go see Miss Janet. Miss Janet. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. I love Janet Jackson. I think she does a wonderful job. If you've never seen her in concert, I've seen her in concert three times now. And the production value of her show is chef's kiss. Nothing but the best. She is amazing. Worth every dime. Worth every dime. I promise you that. So congratulations to her. All right. So our next What's Crack-a-lackin' story is something that I absolutely love. So like if you live in Vegas or if you ever stayed for any period of time, surely you've heard of the shop called Nothing Bundt Cake. And that's where they started. I actually met the woman who started the company. Yeah. And it was such a pleasure meeting her. It's been years and years ago that I met her, but I remember meeting her, having a conversation. We actually went out to dinner together. And she was telling me about how she got the business started. But this is a Nothing Bundt Cake. And it's kind of like a staple in Vegas. So if you ever want to gift somebody something, this is one of those Vegas things, Nothing Bundt Cake. But they are announcing something really cool for Father's Day. It's coming up on the 15th of June this month. S'mores made with Hershey's Bundt Cake, y'all. Yes. Nothing Bundt Cake teamed up with Hershey's, and they have this rich campfire-inspired flavor baked with Hershey's milk chocolate chips, mini marshmallows, graham cracker crumbs, and topped with chocolate drizzle and buttery graham streusel. It is a major debut for the brand and available now in all sizes through July 13th. And let me tell you something from experience, ladies and gentlemen, that cake is so doggone good. I'm not even a bundt cake kind of person. I'm not really that into sweets. Every now and then I'll get like a sweet tooth, but it's not very often at all. That cake right there, it's good. And they're also doing, in light of Father's Day, a $3,000 grand prize giveaway for Father's Day. So it is definitely worth going and checking it out. Just go to nothingbundtcake.com for more information. But again, this Father's Day sweepstakes is definitely on jam. And they're giving away like $100 gift cards as well. So just go to their website for more details. Once again, it's nothingbundtcakes.com. And yeah, you're going to love the cake. I can guarantee you that. They are delicious. All right, and our last story in our What's Crack-a-lackin' is Locals Unlocked Las Vegas. Now, I know you're like, Monica, what are you talking about? Well, for all the locals in Las Vegas, and if you're traveling to Las Vegas, hook up with a local, and I mean that very generically. Hook up with a local and get some of these deals, y'all, because it is something that has been launched by the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. We call them the LVCVA. Yeah. So go to their website, visit lasvegas.com and get more information. But just to give you an idea as to what's up for grabs, and this is huge. Y'all ready for this? On the Strip, because I know that's what y'all want to talk about. Monica, tell me about what's on the Strip. Well, at Caesar's Palace, they're offering up 15% off hotel stay, up to 20% off spas and salon experiences, 20% off tickets to attractions like the High Roller Observation. Some people call it a Ferris wheel, but they get so offended. It is the High Roller, baby, not a Ferris wheel. Whole bunch there. They're also offering Grand Prix Plaza discounts. You can get the F1, that race, the F1 immersive and interactive F1 exhibit. It's priced at $59. Over at MGM, up to $150 dining credit per stay, minimum 2-night stay. Resorts World is doing it too. 20% off hotel rates and free self-parking with Genting Rewards. Genting is the actual company that owns Resorts World. But yeah, Thursdays, 20% off select restaurants and 20% off Blue Diamond Facial and World of Wellness Massage at Awana Spa. Free entry to Zouk Nightclub Locals. Now, all the other hotels are listed here as well. I'm talking the Sahara, the Sphere, the Strat Hotel, Tao Group Hospitality, which means the Cosmopolitan, Aria, the Venetian. Just go to the LVCVA website and check it out. Again, that's visit lasvegas.com and check it out. Or you can go to Locals Unlocked Las Vegas. This is just amazing. When I tell you these are some great discounts, believe me, those are some great discounts because Vegas can get pretty expensive. It's worth it now. You ain't going to be mad at none of the shows, none of the food, because it's a culinary destination as well as the entertainment capital of the world. And now it's a sports destination as well. Vegas is off the chain. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so it is time for our topic. Today's topic. It's all about women and the bourbon culture. This is part 2. Remember I told you on that first one, we did a part 1. So I want you to go over to our library right here and check it out. But ladies and gentlemen, mostly ladies, we are really into bourbon. Check this out. You got your Woodford, you got your Jim Beam, you got your Heaven Hill, you got your Maker's Mark, the Rose is there, you got Buffalo Trace, Wild Turkey. It's a whole bunch of them. And until we started digging, I had no idea that women were really into bourbon. I mean, there's a society of women. There's these associations of women. It's just all about women. Now, as with bourbon, I should say, all bourbon is whiskey. Remember I told y'all that this last time? You got to go look at part 1. All bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon. You get that? Now, I want to add to the conversation because this was really interesting to me. I didn't know there was a connection, but apparently there is. Like I said, you better jump on this wave right now because this is blowing up, and it's blowing up in a big way, right? So, excuse me, y'all, these allergies are kicking my butt. But all cognac. This is what I want to add to it. I want to add that cognac hook to it because I know, a lot of the rappers made it popular, but I want you to know the real details of this cognac thing because this culture is kind of like the sister of the bourbon culture. So all cognac is brandy, but not all brandy is cognac. Okay? Just like with the bourbon stuff. Cognac is a specific type of grape-based brandy produced in the Cognac region of France, following strict regulations. Brandy in general is a spirit that is distilled from fermented fruit juice. Now, when I was growing up, that was one of my mom's favorites. She loved cognac. And I remember the smell of it. Even when I smell it now, it is so reminiscent of my childhood because when they drank it, it was so classy. They had nice glasses and the ice, it looks like the ice just sat in it well. And it was just the classiest drink ever. And I dabble in cognac, but I'm more so a bourbon girl since I found out all this information about bourbon. But cognac is still up there. Right. So let me just give you, a couple facts on it and like the origins of it and what's going on with it now, because it's really a booming culture, too. Now, it's going through a revolution is what the experts say. So, again, for those of you who love cognac, believe me, it'll never go out of style. It's a really big deal. And again, a lot of celebrities have made it popular, and you see it in commercials and videos and stuff. The spirit itself is becoming more and more sought after, and the reputation of being an old man's drink, yeah, gone. Nobody's talking about that being an old man's drink anymore. We have the women of cognac to thank for all of this. I said the women of cognac. Yeah, baby. Yep. So the deal is this. So here are some pictures, and I'll just call off some names here so you guys will kind of figure it out as we go along. But check out this picture here as I'm talking to you. So they do a lot of work, and they influence the shaping of cognac's past and future. Now, there's not been enough attention, to these amazing women, because y'all know in an industry like this, women are not going to get recognized the way men are. It's just not going to happen. That's just our culture. So there has not been enough attention to these women, to the cognac in the houses and what they do in them. It's a serious subject, and we want to address it with honesty. So I'm trying to make sure that I say the right words, because women work hard to get into these spaces, and when they get there, it gets even harder to be recognized in a culture that's full of men. So one of the ladies on that huge picture that you saw, her name is Pt.2. And I hope I'm not butchering their names because it's like French, okay? Her name is Pt.2. She is the cellar master of Remy Martin. Yes, indeed, my friends. She was from 2003 until 2014. She was the first and the last, for the time being, woman to hold a position such as this in a large house. That's what they call, the cognac business, like the house. And I think that is pretty impressive. Again, in a space where men are dominant. Now, the historical role. Here's some history that I didn't know about. Because I always think, when I think of history and alcohol, I always think of whiskey and gin, and moonshine. I mean, that's what I think of. And for these specialty blends, they just never come to mind when you go back in the day, right? They've evolved over time. And the history of it is pretty incredible. So during World War I, women apparently stepped up to manage the vineyards, obviously, and the distilleries when the men had to go off to war, which makes sense, doesn't it? So they call it the heure de vie from the period are known as ladies' vintage. Yeah, that's the historical role of women. Their modern leadership. Women are now taking on leadership roles in cognac houses, including cellar masters like Isabelle Coupry at Cognac Gautier. And she's responsible for blending and creating distinctive cognac. So the next time you drink a cognac, think of this lady. Her name is Isabelle Coupry at Cognac Gautier. Doesn't it just look pretty? Like it makes you just want to drink it. And of course, I have to give a disclaimer. Drink responsibly and never drink and drive. Please. Now, when it comes to brand ownership, these are some distinctive things that you should know if you're going to have a discussion about it. Because again, this is a booming cultural revolution, so to speak. Brand ownership. Brands like Cognac, Fanny Fougarat, and I know I'm butchering these names, so forgive me. Fanny Fougarat, run by Fanny Fougarat, demonstrate the increasing presence of women as brand owners and creators. Yeah. They're owning this stuff, y'all. Next time you go out and buy it, cheers to the lady. Oh, yeah. And when it comes to nearest green, there's our girl, Dawn. Yes. Yep. There are women of color in this industry as well. Nearest green, Jack Daniels. I don't want to say a spinoff, but Nearest Green was the master distiller of Jack Daniels, but because it was owned by a white male back in the day, they weren't putting the names of the black folks involved as the titles on these what am I called? These spirits. That's what I'm trying to say. But Uncle Nearest, that lady you just saw, that's her brand. That's it right there. Isn't that cool? We bought some, and I got to tell you, oh my gosh, I was not expecting it. So good. And I think in part 1, we showed you the bottle. My husband and I had drank it. It was so good. But check out Uncle Nearest, because again, women are moving on up, like the Jefferson theme song. They're moving on up and they're changing things. They have diverse roles. Women can be found in various roles within the cognac industry, from vineyard management, which is a really big deal, and winemaking to marketing and business leadership. And I think that's the biggest thing. You definitely want to make sure that the women that are in this industry are recognized, because, again, it's something new, relatively new. And young girls don't necessarily see themselves in this role. That's why representation matters. Representation is a big deal. And one of the things, my husband actually brought this to my attention. He's like, have you paid attention to this? And I said, I kind of have, but not. My husband loves this one. It's called Blue Swift by Martell. And when I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this was so delicious. It was really, really good. Now, it's a little pricey. Is this the one that's really pricey? And this one is a little pricey, but let me tell you something. It's worth it. It's really, really worth it. And so if you're going to spend your money, Father's Day is coming up. This would be a great gift for dads. If you want to get a cognac, it would be really, really good. Now, cognac is aged in a bourbon cask. Did you guys know that? It's not, it's just this one. Just this one is aged in a bourbon cask. That's really different, huh? Yeah, so, if you're giving this gift, you can, put a little history on it. Now, when it comes to being recognized for their expertise, the cognac industry is recognizing and celebrating the contributions of women like Mathilde Bousseau. She's the director of Vine and Wine Hennessy. And Audrey Normandin. She's the co-owner of Cognac Normandin Mercier, showcasing their expertise and passion. Doesn't that look great? I would love to own like a building that has this type of setup. I wouldn't even know what I'm doing. It just looks beautiful to me. It looks classy to me. And I would invite people there and have parties. Isn't that cool? So there are things like when I talked in part 1, there are events that happen that are very, very cool. That was a cool distillery. I would love to have a distillery like that with all that copper. And for some reason, I'm really attracted to copper because copper is like my favorite color. I always say like burnt orange, but it's actually copper. So I love looking at distilleries. I just think they're beautiful. I know that's weird. Whatever. So when it comes to events, that's what I was trying to get to. International Women's Day have been used to highlight the achievements of women in the industry and promote diversity and inclusivity. So start Googling this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, and start, putting it in your girls' minds, your daughters, your nieces, your sisters, even your cousins, your friends, because it's an industry that is taking off, or I should say a culture that's taking off, and it's inviting women in. And I love to see women having a seat at the table that has been dominated by men, and men are actually inviting them in. And cognacs are being aged, just so you know, in bourbon casks. Yeah, I know, right? Here's some more cognacs. And I know this is really familiar to you guys. Hennessy, baby. That's the one. And what's that? My husband loves this. What is it, like $2,000? Is it Louis the 13th? Is that what it is? Or the 14th? One of them. That's one of those bottles up there that you see right there on your screen. That stuff is everywhere. And in Vegas, it's really cool. So when it comes to influence and creativity, women are not only managing and blending cognac, but also influencing its image and marketing, leading to unique and innovative products. Yeah, like the ones you've seen there. So here's what I want to break down to you. What exactly is cognac? So cognac is a luxurious and refined spirit that has been enjoyed for centuries. Now, as a protected and regulated product of France, cognac must meet certain production standards to earn its name. You can't just call any brandy cognac. Like I said in the beginning, cognac is brandy, but not every brandy is cognac. There are several types of cognac that can be enjoyed, each with their own unique characteristics and qualities. And now I know you guys have seen these, right? So you have VS cognac, which means very special. Then you got VSOP cognac, which means very superior old pale. Then you have XO, and now we're getting up there. XO means extra old cognac, and it's aged for a minimum of 6 years in an oak barrel. resulting in a more intense and complex flavor profile than VSOP cognac. Then you got XXO cognac. It's aged for a minimum of 14 years. Then you have, instead of horse overs, like in hors d'oeuvres, I love to say horse overs. Sorry about that. Okay. Or age, or the age cognac. I'm just butchering this. I'm sorry. Is the rarest and often the most expensive type of cognac available. It is aged for a minimum of 10 years in oak barrels, resulting in an incredibly complex and intense flavor profile. Then there's something called vintage cognac. Vintage cognac is made from grapes harvested from a single year. Unlike other types of cognac, which are blended from different years, it is aged for a minimum of 4 years in oak barrels and is considered to be the most unique and distinctive type of cognac available. Vintage cognac is ideal for sipping neat rather, and like other cognac is often paired with gourmet meals. No better place to do that than in Vegas, baby. So, that's kind of the history of cognac. And I wanted to bring that to you as part 2 of our women in bourbon, because women, and we should pop that picture up one more time, because I want this to be burned in your psyche, that women are entering this space and they're making changes, and they're good changes. They're inviting other women in, and it's becoming part of our culture. It's not just like an oddity, so to speak. You have Black women, you have white women doing it. You have women from all different backgrounds, all cultures coming into this space, and they're having a good time with it. They're throwing parties, they're throwing huge celebrations, inviting women in. They're talking business. It's not just about the alcohol itself, it's about business. And I think it's a really good thing. So keep watching, keep Googling and finding out about all of these wonderful brands, all of these wonderful flavors, how they're aged, because how they say $1 million deals are made on the golf course. I think $1 million deals are made in spaces where these spirits are consumed. I'm talking about bourbon. I'm talking about cognac. And I think you guys have probably experienced some of that as well. These are some other brands here. Aren't they beautiful? Just the look of them, the color is absolutely stunning. The labeling, all of that, it attracts the consumer. So, okay, I hope that helps you guys out. I hope that is, a topic of discussion for you at your next event. You can bring it up and talk if you're flirting, trying to get a lady's attention, or trying to get a guy's attention, because women flirt too. This might be a really cool topic to talk about, because I think that everybody at some point or another has tasted the flavors, been to a distillery. Did you know in Vegas they have distilleries where you can go and take tours, and it's kind of like you can what am I trying to say? You can make reservations for a tasting. Yeah, and I'm sure in other cities you can do that too. So keep that in mind. And again, Father's Day coming up, y'all, June 15th. That might be a great gift for dad. Get him some cognac or get him some bourbon or both, and give him a little history of it. He might be impressed. All right. Hey, so I hope you guys have enjoyed that. This is the conclusion of our bourbon series, Women in Bourbon. And I hope you guys got a lot out of it, because I enjoyed checking it out, reading some of the history, and getting some of the background on some of these wonderful flavors that we have consumed through the years. All right, moving on up. It is time to talk about our Meet the Author segment. Oh, yeah, baby. Coming up on our next Meet the Author segment, we are going to be talking to this lady, this dynamic, cultured, unbelievably world-traveled woman. This is Toni Blackman, ladies and gentlemen. And her book is called Wisdom of the Cipher. When I tell you she is dynamic, I'm not just saying that. This lady has traveled around the world. I think it's over 30 countries. She is or has been the ambassador for the United Nations. She has met and has done her thing, the cipher with a lot of celebrities. She has written several books, and she tells her story wherever she goes. Um, she's all about hip hop, all about the culture, and you will see that and you will hear it in her voice when you meet her. I interviewed her years ago, and it was one of the best interviews I had. We actually ended up rapping on television, live TV. We were doing it together during my interview with her. So, again, once again, on our Meet the Author segment here on the MOJ podcast, you're going to have a chance to listen to Tony Blackman. I'd love to make sure you guys, pencil us in because that's going to be great. She is really amazing. I don't want to give away too much, as I always say, because she has so much to share with us. So listen, I hope you guys have enjoyed this MOJ podcast. We had fun putting it together for you. And don't forget, if you want to reach out to me, make sure you do. Make sure you tell all your friends on my social media. Facebook and TikTok, I am MOJ Show. On Instagram, I am, actually, there are two accounts for Instagram. The first one is MOJ Show and the number 1. And the second is the MOJ Show. Don't forget, if you want to reach out to me via email, mojshow@mojproductions.com. Once again, that's mojshow@mojproductions.com. And make sure to check out my podcast on YouTube. And while you're there, please subscribe. Don't forget to tell all your friends about it. Like, share, comment. My podcast can be found on other popular platforms such as Spotify and Amazon. Just check it out. Type it in. Y'all know how to Google and get to where you need to be. So, hey, that's it. That's all for me. I will talk to you again later. Same place, same space. And don't forget, the MOJ Show, the MOJ podcast is right here. And we're all about doing well by doing good. Take care, everybody.